This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. In the current age we're living, the age with a monstrosity masquerading as a president in the White House whose unprecedented, non-stop criminality and corruption has desensitized millions to just how abnormal this all is. Sometimes stories that would end any other normal presidency fall through the cracks or at the very least get drowned out by the cacophony of voices being raised in defense of one of the other hundreds of terrible things he's done. Well, hopefully that is where independent media voices like myself come in, and others. It is certainly where the diligent and hardworking folks over at Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, or CREW, come in. I have talked about CREW many other times before because they have to be working overtime to keep up with the cartoonish levels of corruption coming from Donald Trump and his band of focused yet feckless misfits. CREW uses aggressive legal action and in-depth dedicated research to hold Donald Trump and his executive branch of our government accountable. They make public the many hundreds of ethical abuses of Donald Trump and his administration. CREW is doing the heavy lifting so people like me can hopefully help to spread the word about it all. Well, according to their diligent research, Donald Trump is actively participating in a fraudulent scheme to not only personally profit from his office, but to also imbue upon those who pay him the power of influence with the President of the United States of America. You see, CREW has been tracking the cost of rooms in Donald Trump's D.C. hotel, and in November, CREW noticed an odd and seemingly unexplained spike in the price of available rooms for a Saturday night in December, which may not seem unusual for a hotel, except for the fact that the minimum cost was 13 times the average. And, even related to Donald Trump and his brazen self-dealing, this seemed odd. They couldn't immediately pinpoint a reason for the spike until photos later surfaced of the Trump Victory Committee's winter retreat at Trump's hotel on that exact night, which sold out much of the venue. As CREW explains, while the least expensive room for a one-night stay at the hotel was around $500 on surrounding days, the cheapest room on December 14th was a whopping $6,719 with access to Trump, Pence, and other top officials, and a bonus invitation to the White House holiday party for donors. We no longer have to wonder why. According to CREW, on November 7th, they flagged a massive spike in the cost of a room at Trump's hotel on December 14th, suggesting that every less expensive room in the hotel was sold out, leaving only pricey suites. Now, presumably, rooms were taken up by donors to the Trump Victory Committee, a joint fundraising committee on the Republican National Committee and the Trump campaign. The exorbitant cost is even more evidence that hosting fundraisers at the Trump International Hotel is one of the best ways to sell out the notoriously empty venue, sending donor money right into Trump's pockets. Not his campaign fund, not into the pockets of his campaign, into his personal pockets. Further adding to the scam is the fact that those who paid for a room at this insane rate were also invited to the White House's holiday open house, which means that the cost of a room at Trump's D.C. hotel, coupled with donations toward his reelection, came with them exclusive political access for the buyer. They are paying Donald Trump directly and getting political access to him and his decision makers. But moreover, they are paying Donald Trump. So everyone who keeps running their sucks about Donald Trump being a wondrous and gracious example of philanthropy because he doesn't take his presidential salary can officially shut it. Claiming you're not profiting from your high office because you give away your $400,000 per year salary is a distraction. Trump's MAGA Americans are like babies distracted by the jingling keys that are his salary donating, while he's actively profiting tens of millions of dollars from his fusing business with his political office. And that is just from political spending. Crew has tracked at least 72 political events held at Trump properties during the Trump presidency, 40 of which have been held at his D.C. hotel. The Center for Responsive Politics found that all the political spending at the hotel is paying off handsomely, totaling nearly $20 million since 2016 and that election cycle. According to OpenSecrets.org, which is run by the Center for Responsive Politics, federal political organizations have spent more than $20 million at businesses owned by Donald Trump, according to Federal Election Commission filings. That money has come since the start of the 2016 cycle, when Trump announced his bid for president and began spending campaign money at his own properties. Over that time, Trump campaign-affiliated committees have funneled about $16.8 million to Trump-owned businesses, the vast bulk of that spending at his own personal properties, enriching him personally. And Republican political campaigns and PACs have spent just under $1.8 million at Trump-owned businesses in just this 2020 cycle alone. Most of that comes from the Trump campaign, but 48 different Republican members of Congress have also spent donor dollars this cycle through their affiliated political committees. Look, running for president typically involves raising vast sums of money for the campaign. But to be personally making millions of dollars off a re-election effort is both unprecedented and wildly corrupt. Donald Trump has repeatedly claimed that the presidency is costing him business.
What reassurances, if any, can you give the American people that you are not looking to profit off the presidency?
Well, I'll tell you what, I've spent, and I think I will, in a combination of loss and opportunity. Probably it'll cost me anywhere from $3 to $5 billion to be president. And the only thing I care about is this country. Couldn't care less. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it. People have asked me, what do you think it costs? And between opportunity, not doing things, I used to get a lot of money to make speeches. Now I give speeches all the time. You know what I get? Zippo, and that's good. And I did a lot of great jobs and great deals that I don't do anymore, and I don't want to do them because the deals I'm making are great deals for the country, and that's to me much more important.
The repeated rate jumps at his hotels surrounding political events suggest that this could not be further from the truth. But who does that surprise? Donald Trump is a scheming liar with dirty intentions. He is fusing together his personal business and profits with public office like no other person in the history of our republic. And it seems, short of a miracle in this Senate impeachment trial, the only way that we're going to rid ourselves of him and his band of sickening grifters is to vote them out on November 3rd. Listen, thank you for sticking around to the end of this with me. What I've just talked about, I think, is critical for the future success of our country. If you found some value in the research and the fact that I just laid out, I would invite you to support my work as an independent creator right here on YouTube by clicking the join button to become a channel member. You can pick your level of support, which starts at less than $2 a month, and take part in some of the rewards. But like I say, more importantly, I think that you can take solace knowing that you're helping in a very real way to support independent media and the truth, just like this. If only 1% or 2% of my audience clicked that join button, I would be completely untethered and unencumbered by YouTube and their policy this day is different from the policy the next, and demonetization. Anyway, I appreciate you even considering it. I appreciate you.